Welcome back to Awful Stories. It's Matt here, and make sure to drop a like and subscribe to not miss your daily fix on Reddit stories. Let's jump into our first post in the relationship advice subreddit. The post is titled, My Girlfriend and My Brother Are Soulmates. My girlfriend and I have been dating for about 7 months now. We both used to work at the same restaurant, and I was the one who asked her out. I've always felt that we were very different people, but that's what I liked about our relationship. I feel like I'm always learning something by being around her and try my best to take an interest in the things she enjoys. 3 months ago, I introduced her to my family, and they all seemed to like her, especially my brother. I didn't think much of it at first and was happy to see them get along since I'm very close to him. But over time, I've realized that they just fit much better together. They share the same interests in movies, books, music, sports, food, you name it. Although my girlfriend was hesitant at first, I encouraged her to do things alone with my brother if it wasn't something I was really into, and they both had a great time. I know just having the same hobbies might sound trivial, but it's also about their personalities. They're both very free spirited and adventurous, and I can't help but notice that they seem much happier with each other than with me. Sometimes I feel really out of place around them, as if I'm not supposed to be there, but I swear this isn't out of jealousy. I genuinely think they're better for each other. I love both of them, and if being together makes them happy, then I'd rather they date each other and let me step aside. I'm just not sure how to handle this or talk to them about it. How should I go about setting them up? OP's trying to noble his way out of a relationship he's too scared to fight for. He built this mess himself, encouraged solo hangouts, watched them bond, decided shared hobbies meant soulmate status, and now he's repackaging cowardice as sacrifice. They're happier together is just code for I'm insecure about being different, so I'm bailing before I get hurt. Sorry, OP, but you're a cuck. 7 months in, and he's already writing them off because they vibe better on Netflix nights. That's not love, that's running. If OP actually cared about either of them, he'd have an honest conversation with his girlfriend instead of orchestrating a setup like some delusional Cupid. The real issue isn't compatibility. It's that OP's convinced himself he's the problem and decided to remove himself from the equation. That's not generosity. That's self-sabotage pretending to be noble. Either fight for the relationship or end it. Don't play matchmaker with your own girlfriend to avoid the hard talk. Update. After writing that post, I did a lot of introspection and self-reflection. I think many people picked up on this, but I do suffer from low self esteem and struggle with low confidence. I didn't want to acknowledge it, but it often got in the way of my relationships. I'm a brutally honest man, and that's exactly how I approach things. I was very honest with my girlfriend about all of this. I didn't tell her that I thought she and my brother were soulmates, but I told her that sometimes I feel like I can't fully connect with her because we're so different. What she said really changed my perspective on our relationship. She told me that she loves that I'm different and that I complement her in a way that completes her. She also said she wants to be more involved in my hobbies. Over the past few months, we've spent time doing things that each of us individually enjoys, and it's turned out great for us. She makes me really happy, and I try my best to make her life better too. I've also met her family now, and they're all lovely people. We still spend time with my brother, and it's always a good time. I think in the end, the root of all this was my insecurity. It really wasn't about my brother, because I think I would have felt the same way if it had been a friend or anyone else. Besides, it's true that I enjoy my brother's company because of the kind of person he is, so it makes sense that I'd want to be with someone similar. It just means she fits really well into my life. I've also come to realize that I was viewing things too narrowly. My girlfriend is so much more than her hobbies and interests, and there are so many other things about her that truly set her apart from everyone else I know. Thanks again, everyone, for your advice. Apparently, I need to end this post with a question. Renee is free said, So glad you talked with your girlfriend. I'm very similar to my brother in law. We like the same shows, are very silly, and are the younger siblings in our respective families, etc. I would have been driven insane if I had dated him instead. We are way too alike, and that's not always the best thing for a successful relationship. My husband challenges me and makes me a better person overall, but also understands me on a deep level because he grew up with someone similar to me. The second story for today takes place in the AITA subreddit, titled AITA for blowing up and cursing out a woman for not controlling her kids at my mom's wake. This happened decades ago. My mom died of cancer when I was not quite 17. She raised me on her own, so for all my life, it was just me and her. Needless to say, I was devastated and a wreck. But I digress. Skip to my mom's wake. She was laid out, a standard wake setup. Her up front, family down the side for people to offer condolences, and a seating area in the middle. Much of the event was a haze to me. I do remember it being busy at times, as my mom was loved by coworkers and many different friend groups. During one lull in the event, I was sitting and contemplating life and how to navigate it without her when I noticed two kids, a girl and a boy, probably around 8 years old. They approached the casket with their mom. whose relationship to my mom I didn't know, but that wasn't uncommon. She knew a lot of people. They paid their respects and then went to sit down. More people came, but then it got slow again. I noticed the kids approaching the casket without their mom, who was talking with others. The kids then walked back to her. A bit later, they went up again. Then they did that fast kid walk, the one where they want to run but not draw too much attention to themselves. They went right past the receiving line, whispering, I touched her, I touched her, and me too. I realized what was going on. The kids were making it a game. I got up and yelled, have some respect. This isn't the place to let your kids run around playing touch the dead body. Everyone went completely silent and looked from me to the kids to the mom. The kids started crying, either from the sudden yelling at such a quiet and somber occasion or from getting caught. The woman looked at me like she had just sucked on a lemon, her mouth opened to say something, but she thought better of it, huffed, and stormed out with her kids. I went out the back door to get some air and have a moment alone to calm down. When I came back, the room had returned to a low level of conversation, but I noticed some furtive glances my way. I always wondered whether they were talking badly about me, understanding because I was grieving, or agreeing with my reaction. The few times I've told this story throughout my life, I've gotten mixed reactions. Some people agree that wakes are no place for kids at all, let alone for them to be running around unsupervised. Others say I should have kept quiet and let it go instead of making a scene. It's one of those core memories, though, one I still cringe over when it comes up during sleepless nights. So I'll leave it up to you all. Was I the jerk? Edit. Well, I didn't expect this to blow up like it did. Thanks to everyone who replied. I appreciate all the comments, love, awards, and condolences. It's helped put my mind at ease and will hopefully be one less cringeworthy late night insomnia thought. OP lost his mom at 16 and had to watch some random kids turn her casket into a playground while their mom checked out. Yeah, he yelled. Yeah, it was loud. But let's not pretend that was unreasonable. It was earned rage at a moment when he had every right to lose it. The real jerks here are the mom who brought unsupervised kids to a wake and then let them treat it like a field trip to the petting zoo, and everyone clutching pearls about OP's outburst instead of the actual disrespect happening in front of them. A funeral isn't daycare. If you can't manage your kids at a wake, don't bring them or keep them in line. That woman's huffed exit says everything. She knew it was wrong and got called out. OP's cringing decades later over this, which tells you he's actually a decent person who respects boundaries and gravity. The kids weren't villains. Their mom was negligent. OP wasn't the asshole for snapping when it mattered. He was grieving and someone made his mom's funeral about their kids' entertainment. The only mistake he made was ever doubting himself about it. Luna said, 17 years old, half orphaned, and watching kids turn your mom's body into a toy. I get that. Kids will be kids. But that's exactly why their parents should have been watching them like a hawk. Could you have handled it better? Maybe, but probably not, given your state and age at the time. To this candid jellyfish said, I have kids, and I would actually judge these kids to be honest. Old enough to attend a funeral or wake means old enough to behave in public. Running around at a restaurant or in church is still inappropriate. My brothers and I did not misbehave in public. My mom would never have allowed it. My kids were really well behaved in public, but we took them everywhere as infants, so they learned very early. My husband and I both had restaurant jobs in our teenage years, and we still have huge issues with seeing wild kids running rampant through restaurants. We even correct strangers' kids sometimes, parent well, or I'll do it for you. Signed, one of those boomers.